What's going on, everyone? Mitesh here, and today I am super excited, you guys, because today I have my full review of the SoundPEATS TrueCapsule True Wireless Earbuds that are just $35. And the reason I'm so excited is because these are actually surprisingly good for the price. Like, these might be the best valued true wireless earbuds out there, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to tell you guys about it. Now, of course, it's not all good things, so we're gonna start off by talking about some of the bad things about these things, and we gotta start off by talking about easily the worst part of these true wireless earbuds, and that's the microphones. So the microphones on these are just bad. They are just not very good at all. I've taken a couple calls with these, and the people on the other hand could hear me. They just said I did not sound very good at all. Like, I sounded very distant, a little bit muffled. Like, it just wasn't the mics on this are just not very good. And especially if you're outside and there's a lot of wind, it's gonna pick up all of that. So if you're planning to take a lot of calls with these, I would not buy these. I would spend a little bit more and get some true wireless earbuds that have better sound quality in terms of microphones, at least. So yeah, microphones are easily the most important part of this. And I recorded a sample here so you guys can check that out for yourself.
Alright, so this is a microphone test of the SoundPEATS TrueCapsule Truly Wireless Earbuds, and as you can hear, the sound quality is just not that great from the microphones. When you're in calls, you're going to sound very distant, muffled, and very echoey.
Alright, so my next complaint is going to be about the case itself, and this case is, honestly, it's just okay. It works well, it's really hard to open up. First of all, just like trying to open this up one-handed is a absolute pain. You have to use two hands, and even when you use two hands, this lip here is just so small that you really have to get a fingernail underneath it to open it up, and it really just takes more precise skill than I wanted to for a case that I'm going to be opening and closing a lot for true wireless earbuds, because trust me, it's something that you're going to do a lot if you use these. So yeah, that's just a minor gripe. It's also just, it feels cheap. It's just very cheap plastic, and it feels like cheap plastic. So it's fine. It's really not a problem. The nice thing about the plastic is it's very lightweight. So if you throw this in your pocket, it's really not going to be that big of a deal. It is kind of a very large case because of the style of headphones these are, but honestly, I throw these in jeans and stuff and I barely notice them whatsoever. So not a huge deal for that. They are not like the AirPods case, which are very tiny, which is a very tiny case. These have a decent sized case, but yeah, I'm telling you guys, this will fit just fine in your pants, and it's really not a problem at all. Alright, moving on to the next problem that I have with these, and that is to do with the touch controls. So actually, the touch controls on this, which first of all, $35 headphones that have touch controls is fantastic. And touch controls on this are actually not that bad. They work most of the time. The one thing I don't like is this, the touchpad is just very tiny. It is just the top of this thing. So this right here, that is the only part you can touch. None of the rest of this you can touch. Like, after a certain little point, it just stops working. And I just wish it wasn't quite so precise. Like, I didn't have to be so precise with the controls. Like, you will get used to it over time, just tapping in the right place, but it's just a small minor thing that I do have to mention, that, you know, the touch controls, they work, but they're just not great. Also, the fact that you can't get volume control on these at all, which I would really like to have volume control on my headphones, but I mean, I get it. Most true wireless earbuds actually don't let you do this. There are a couple that have apps built in that'll let you do it, but yeah, these definitely don't. And that's pretty much it for most of the problems that I have with these. The one other thing I gotta mention, another thing I don't like about the case is the micro USB port on here. So I went on a trip recently with these, and this is the only thing that forced me to take a micro USB cable. So that makes me a little unhappy. There are other $35 headphones out there that I've seen that do have USB-C, which I don't know how they managed to do it, but you know what? It's okay. These are $35. I think I'm okay to carry around another cable just for these if these are the ones I would pick up. So now that we're done with that, let's talk about some of the good stuff about this. And we gotta start off by talking about the sound quality. So the sound quality on these is surprisingly good. Now, I'm not saying they're the best. Like, for $35, they're just way better than anything that I expected out of these. So you get highs being very clear. The mids are not quite there. They're a little muddy, but you can still hear them okay. The bass is there. This is really not for you if you're a bass head or anything like that. The bass is, like I said, it's there, but it's just very, very quiet. So yeah, in terms of sound quality, I think they're fine for what they are, but they're not gonna blow you away or anything like that. So if you're someone who's just looking for true wireless earbuds as your secondary pair of headphones that you're just listening to when you're out and about, these are great for that. But if you want these to be your main pair of headphones for the sound quality, definitely don't buy these. Go spend the extra money to get yourself a good pair of truly wireless earbuds. But yeah, for the sound quality, I would say for the price, it's actually really good. All right, next up, let's talk about battery life, because that is something that matters a lot with true wireless earbuds. And battery life on this is actually pretty good. In my testing, I tested these at 80% volume and I got about 3 hours and 51 minutes worth of playtime. So that's pretty good, I would say, close to 4 hours. So if you're someone like me who listens to music at like 2 hours stretch tops, like these are gonna be totally fine for you. If you're someone who needs to have 6 to 8 hours of marathon listening time, these are not going to work for you. Now the nice thing is you put them back in the case for about 15 minutes and you do get about another hour's worth of playback, so that's not bad at all. But yeah, the battery life on it is good, it's not great. Another thing that you need to watch out for in truly wireless earbuds is the connectivity, and I'm happy to say connectivities on these is just fantastic. It worked flawlessly for me. So these actually are some of the fastest pairing truly wireless earbuds. As soon as I get them out of the case, like 1 second later, they're like connected. It's really fast how these connect up. And they have Bluetooth 5.0, so they're almost always in sync. Now, one thing I have noticed is that like if I pause something, it will take like just a couple milliseconds longer than I would want it to take to pause, or if I want to go to the next track, it'll take just a little bit longer than I would want to start playing that next track. And I think that has to do with how these work. So I think the right one is what connects up to your phone and the left one connects to the right one. So to keep it in sync, they always have like this moment of silence before they start playing, just to make sure that everything is in sync. I will say it's noticeable, but it's really not that bad. Like I don't feel like I miss out on anything in those couple of milliseconds that I'm waiting for the audio to start playing, but it is there, it is noticeable. If it's something that's gonna bother you, you shouldn't pick these up. Because it is there with everything that I do. So if I pause or start playing something, there is a noticeable pause before it starts playing, before I start hearing the audio from the song or the video. And another thing about videos, this thing totally stays in sync with video. So I was watching a whole bunch of YouTube with these in my ears, and yeah, I have zero problems with people talking and me hearing them at the same time. Like there is very little lag that I really couldn't notice at all. So yeah, that's awesome. Now the other thing that I want to talk about with these headphones is in terms of comfort, and I will say these are not the most comfortable headphones. They are fine. They are in the shape of like the AirPods. As you can see, they're the long ways. Like I said, they're fine. It's just that they don't feel like they're gonna stay in my ears. Maybe it's just the tips. Maybe I just need to get some new tips. And I did put on some tips that are actually that didn't come with these headphones, because none of the tips that came on it worked with me. But even these are not the best. I really wish they had some sort of wing to help keep it in my ear. Like it never feels like it's gonna fall out, but it feels a little bit more loose than I would want it to. So if there were wings on this, it would have helped, but it's just by itself. And like I said, I've never had a fear of them falling out, but it just feels like the seal isn't quite perfect. So maybe it's just a matter of me finding the right ear tips for myself. But definitely that's something that you may want to invest in, is better ear tips than the ones that come with it, because the ones that come with it are also like they're very similar in size. Even though they're supposed to be a small, medium, and large, they're actually all pretty much just the same size. So yeah, I would definitely say get a pair of like Comply foam tips or something like that to really help with the help them stay in your ears and just sound better overall. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. One other thing that I mentioned earlier was just the touch controls. Like I said, touch controls actually work on these really well. So it's double tap on the right earbud to play and pause, double tap on the left one to bring up your assistant, Google Assistant or Siri, and long tap on the right one to go forward, long tap on the left one to go back. One other thing I've got to mention is there is no true mono mode. You can use the right one in mono mode, but you can't use the left one by itself. So you can't have the left one paired to your phone by itself. It's always the right one that pairs instead. So just something to know if you want these so that you can just use one as like a Bluetooth headset and then be able to switch out to the other one. You really can't do that. You can only do that with the right one. But I don't know why you'd want to do that considering how awful the mics are. So yeah, overall, I'm just really impressed at what you can get for $35 nowadays in the true wireless earbuds category. Before, this category was just filled with garbage. Now, you can actually get a decent pair of true wireless earbuds. But here's what I'm going to say. If you can afford something better, I would say go get yourself something a little bit better, especially in terms of microphones. But if this is your budget, this is actually really great for the price. But that's pretty much it for this review. Like this one if you liked it, subscribe if you guys loved it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!